Hello? Hello?
Yes, Salaam alaikum, Vice Chancellor. We can hear you loud and clear now.
I hope you can hear me. Well, my job is simply to welcome to this session of the program, which is specifically meant for all Dawa workers and education officers and those working in the field of education. And I just want us to pay a very good and rapt attention to the submissions and the presentation from all our speakers. And I can assure you that presentations that were made yesterday will be made available to all participants. Of course, the e-copy will be sent to your link. The link will be sent to your email and whatever. So please ensure that you register your email. Of course, I don't know whether the ICT will also send you the link through the chat, but just rest assured that you are going to have the advantage of going through all the presentations that were made yesterday and those that we made today. And just to make sure that it's not just a talk shop. We want it to be a workshop. So we want you to be able to apply whatever insights.
Okay. No. I think there is a little technical issue with the Vice Chancellor's audio device. We barely can hear. Okay, the Vice Chancellor, sir, if you are hearing us, you have muted your audio device again. Can you just unmute? Can you unmute and continue with your welcome address?
I press unmute.
Okay.
Hello?
Yes, we can hear you now, sir. You can continue.
Because well, I had earlier concluded my.
I don't know. You have it's muted again, sir. It's muted. Okay, now it's you are for muted. Yeah, okay. I think that is a little.
Am I on now?
You are on again.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you now, sir.
Okay. So fine. Well, I'm trying to welcome again all participants to today's session and to assure them that the philosophy behind this thing is to make us more practical. It's not meant to be a talking shop or a talk show, but it's certainly intended to avail you of new insights, new techniques, and new ideas about how relevant as an educator or as somebody who interacts with students of community or with members of our Salatu groups. So, and as I said, we are going to make available to you copies or the links to the presentations that were made. The ICT will do that. And if you also want to have by email, ensure that your email, your correct email addresses are sent to the ICT so they can forward the presentations to you. But the bottom line is that to apply the insight and the techniques we're able to gather from this workshop, and of course ensure that the names, the certificates are going to be issued to you as a participant to ensure the correct spelling and the way you want your name to be spelled, because all participants are given the requisite certificate of participation or as serving as resource person. So when the time comes for you to ask questions, please send your questions to the moderator, and of course you may want to state who the person to whom you want the question to be addressed to, and then it will be taken care of. So thank you very much. A very happy and rewarding session. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Thank you very much, Mr. Vice Chancellor, for that apt welcome address. We are so grateful, and we say Jazakallah khair. Yes, on this note, I would like to invite Professor Goke Lalude, who will be moderating today's session of the program, as well as he will be reciting the citation of the all the lecturers, all the speakers for today's workshop. So, Dr. Professor Goke Lalude, sir, sorry for my, yes, please, can you, Bismillah, can you come and take over? Thank you.
Assalamu alaikum. I want to welcome every participant and indeed resource persons to the Fountain University workshop for NASFAT Imams, DAY workers, and DAY workers and education officers, home and in diaspora. I want to say here that we are likely going to have a larger set of participants, unlike what we had yesterday, when we were limited to only 100 participants only. The implication of this is that we need to, just like the Vice Chancellor has indicated, to intimate those that are joining us today for the first time with the information that there are links to all those papers that were presented yesterday. The second is that I will give a very brief summary of probably limited to the titles of each of the 4 papers that were presented yesterday. Let me start by saying that yesterday's session, day 1, commenced, just like it happened again today, with a welcome address by the Vice Chancellor, Fountain University, Osogbo, Professor Amidu Olalekan Sani. After the welcome address, we had a keynote speech by Professor Camille Omotesho, who happens to be the Pro-Vice Chancellor and Dean, College of Business Law and Social Sciences, University of Derby, United Kingdom. The title of his presentation was E-Dawa in the 21st century towards a capability maturity model. It was after this that we then had the session in place fully, and that in itself was divided into 2 different sessions, the morning and the afternoon sessions. The person that blazed the trail in the morning session was Professor Moshood A. Baderi of the University of London, who gave us a very comprehensive lecture on the new challenges for Imams and DAY workers, diaspora, audiences in light of COVID-19 and beyond. The second lecture of the morning session was by Sheikh Abdurrahman Ahmad, who happens to be the Chief Missioner Ansarudin Society, Nigeria and worldwide. He lectured us thoroughly on sermon and preaching in the new Dawa cosmos, imperatives of resources, models, and techniques in a digital world. The second session of that day, which happened to also be the afternoon session, commenced with a lecture by Dr. Musibau Tunde Akani of the Lagos State University, Ojo, Lagos State, who took us on strategic communication, impact in missionary and public relations, mission for Imams and Dawa workers. And the very last of lectures yesterday was the one presented by Dr. Nasiru Onibon, who happens to be the provost, Michael Otedola College of Primary Education, Epe Ijebu Ode Road, Epe in Lagos State, who gave us a lecture on whether the Dawa workers between communication and provocation. And I must also say that we did not limit ourselves to the lectures. Both the morning and the afternoon sessions had questions and answer sessions where we had people that participated trying to clarify funny areas which they needed certain better understanding on. And may I say that exactly the same manner in which that was approached is what we are also going to see today. We are thinking, however, that for every of the lectures that we are going to receive today, we should start typing our questions immediately after listening, when the lecture is still very fresh with us, so that we know in specific terms what we want to ask questions upon, and we don't unfortunately forget about them as we move on in the workshop. So once we are listening to the session, the lectures, we want to have questions raised in typing. May I therefore start with the very first lecturer today, in person of Dr. Abdul Jalil Kende Shitu, an associate professor. I will be starting by reading his citation. The citation of Dr. Shitu Abdul Jalil Kende, an associate professor. Dr. Shitu Abdul Jalil Kende had his BSc in Management Information System in 2004, MSc in Information Technology in 2006, and a PhD in Information Technology in 2009, all from the International Islamic University, Malaysia. He has attended several training sessions and conferences at home and abroad. And he is a member of many professional bodies, including the Institute of Electrical and Electronics Engineers IEEE, the Nigerian Computing Society, NCS, and the Malaysian National Computer Confederation, MNCC, among others. As an associate professor in the Department of Mathematical and Computer Sciences, Fountain University, Osogbo, Dr. Shitu has taught several courses, supervised undergraduate and postgraduate students, and served as an examiner to a number of higher education institutions in Nigeria. Dr. Shitu has published widely in local and international journals. He is happily married with kids. I hereby invite Dr. Abdul Jalil Kende Shitu to present his paper.
Allahu Akbar.
Assalamu alaikum wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Alhamdulillah that you give us another opportunity to be here today and for giving us this wonderful opportunity to present, to gather all the Imams from the very noble organization NASFAT to come together to deal with the reality of the time. When we look at the topic, is about web and mobile-based communication application using Google Meet in Dawa. Google Meet is one of the applications that we have today. However, before I start, I want us to go through, I hope the slide is being shared along. The first thing I've quoted here is where Allah says in Surah An-Nahl, Allah says, Allah says, invite to the way of your Lord with wisdom and good instruction. I underline the word hikmah wal mau'izatu hasana, wisdom and good instruction. Instruction could be any means. When you are talking to a deaf, there are ways to instruct. The way to instruct them is different from the way you talk to others. When you are talking to somebody who is physically impaired, the way you talk to them is different from the way you talk to others. Now, when you are talking to a generation that they are easily distracted with mobile application, with online matters, they updated themselves with any junk called news today, and which means that how a dahi, someone who is engaged in dawah work, should be able to bring these children, this generation, bring them and make them among those who will be our audience. That's what Islam says about generation, about.
Sorry, our presenter, do you prefer we share your slide? Can we share your slide on your behalf from this end?
Can you hear me, please? Yes.
I'm requesting that whether we should share your slide from this end.
Please do that.
Okay.
I've been trying to share it from here. It's not going.
Okay, that's okay. We are going to share it from our own end here. Okay.
Okay, thank you. Okay, thank you. Now, good instruction. One of the good instruction for our modern day now is the mobile application. How are we going to use this thing to communicate, to reach our audience? Looking at this environment, the COVID environment has actually made it possible for us that we just have to find a way of getting our audience. The fact that people are not coming to masjid, people are not coming to as-salatu ground, doesn't mean that we should stop dawah. we should stop communicating them. We should stop monitoring them. We should stop guiding them. All this we can do by making use of the technology. And Google Meet is one of the good technology we can use. It's kind of free and it doesn't cost you anything. And you can actually relate with the audience and have a real life interaction with them. Anyone you are interacting with as a DAI, that he knows that you have a kind of concern about his life activity, that kind of person will also have interest in whatever you are telling him or her. Google Meet comes with free, with G Suite, subscription for unlimited video conferencing, or free to everyone for meeting up to 60 minutes long. However, they actually improve on that one. You can keep on with people more than that nowadays. On Google Meet, you can share your screen, you can send files through chat, you can free from everyone to use. It's free for everyone to use. No additional fee for calling participants, and additional tool of G Suite subscription is also there for those who have the G Suite. That one comes with some money, but if you have it, you have access to virtually everything. Let me quickly compare Google Meet and Zoom. They are somehow similar. The only thing that propels us to come to Google Meet nowadays is when you look at Google, you realize that this is an organization that have a very robust infrastructure. Everybody knows what Google is all about. And you cannot imagine when Google is the one that behind this kind of application. It means their application will be robust and easy. It doesn't sap your data as Zoom will do, because you're actually working on a cloud environment built by Google. That makes it easy for you to relate easily without spending too much. They both have collaboration tools, which includes share screen, breakout room. You can private chat, you can talk to easy, you can talk to people anyhow, you can monitor anyone. In fact, for me, I use it for my classroom. I monitor my students every time. Once you are out of my class, I will tell you that you are out of my class. I quickly monitor them. And it's unlike any other application that students sometimes they pretend as if that they were with you. In actual sense, they will just on their system and they leave. What I did is, once I'm having my class, at times I send questions. I pose questions to particular students. If that student cannot answer me immediately, then I will know that student is not with me online. That made me monitor my students, and they all know that once they are with me, you don't have option. You have to be with me every now and then. Looking at the comparison, Google Meet allows up to 250 nowadays, though Zoom have up to 500. Even with that Zoom, you have to buy it, you have to subscribe to a lot of things. You share, virtually two of them, they have similar things. For Google Meet, if you want to call in, it's free. Unlike Zoom, that if you want to call in, you have to pay some amount. However, this one also, you have to come with the G Suite. It's very easy to use and effective. Love the minimalist user interface, does not suck up your battery as such. I love using the tool at work. As I told you, we have meeting, you have interaction. The issue of bad network is not always there because you are actually working on your Gmail account, which is part of Google package. The only disadvantage is that when there are connection with low bandwidth, the video freezes. And if you cannot use video, you can just unmute your video, then you use the voice. That's what we make use of in several times when we are using Google Meet. And with Google Meet, you can actually enjoy a lot of things. because I want to make this one a kind of practical. I don't want it to be the type that you will just keep reading. I would like to share with you. I would like to invite people. I already sent a link to Google Meet that whoever wants to join the, I posted something on the chat here that if you click on it, you can actually join the Google Meet class with me, whereby I will be able to guide you how to use it. I want us to have an hands-on practical experience of how to use Google Meet, which I hope some of us will be able to do. And even after this session, if you still have anything, any further clarification, you can still communicate to me, you can still talk to me, and inshallah, anytime I'm with you to guide you further. Okay. For those who can't join the video, Google support calling, which means if somebody cannot join the video and that person knows the room you are using, you can call in and talk to you and ask questions without costing anything. Unlike most other video conferencing programs, Google Meet doesn't require an additional add-on. Google Meet, you don't need to install anything. It's a complete web-based. It's a web-based application. You don't need to have any installation, especially when you're using your computer. All what you have to do is you type meet.google.com. Then you click on it, it takes you to your room. Or even from your Gmail account, when you look at the right side of your Gmail account, you can even initiate the app either on iOS or any Android. They just start like that. You can use calendar. You can schedule a time. You can schedule your meeting with anybody. You click start, new meeting, or enter your meeting code. It's just like the Zoom also. You